Position SUL. Howdy y'all and welcome back. So I've done videos talking about SUL before, but this one is in a little bit different context, and I'm pulling this out of my recent class with Rob Pincus, where this discussion came up in the context of the moments just after a defensive shooting. Or maybe you didn't even actually do any shooting, but you have deployed your weapon because maybe you're at a mall or some public place. You hear gunshots, you draw, and you're scanning, you're assessing, you're looking for the danger. Meanwhile, the police are on their way. And if the police show up and you are in low ready, walking around, they may think that you are the bad guy. So this is where position SUL comes into play. And let's do a quick look at the two side by side or back to back. All right, and so hopefully you can see that in the second clip there, I look just a little less threatening and a little bit more like I'm in a defensive posture. And hopefully a police officer would immediately recognize position SUL as someone who has firearms training. It is not just some random lunatic running around with a gun. But also you are not muzzling everybody and everything in your immediate vicinity. So aside from the tactical advantage of keeping the weapon in closer to yourself so that if someone comes around a corner or whatever, or just approaches you, it's just that much harder they have to get that much closer into your space versus having the gun hanging out here in front of you where they can get it. And guns are pretty easy to take away from people. So you've just got it in your space where you are stronger, and you are muzzled down, and you look a little bit less like a lunatic who might have been on a shooting rampage, and you look a little bit more like a civilian defender who is scanning and assessing and there to be of service. This also comes up in the context of, say you're in a liquor store or grocery store or something, you hear gunshots, you draw. Meanwhile, someone in the next aisle over has also drawn their weapon. And if you're scanning and assessing, and if you decide to take the sheepdog approach and you want to go find the danger and neutralize the threat, and they do the same thing, if they come around the corner and see you out here like this, they may mistake you as the threat, and then you get smoked. So this could be a life-critical type of situation where just keeping that muzzle down, keeping your weapon in close at SUL, which by the way is Portuguese for south. That's where the term comes from. If you're this guy instead of this guy, it might make the difference between making it out of that situation alived versus unalived. So food for thought, practice your SUL. Also, when you're at the range, this is a pretty easy one. Even if you are at a range with pretty strict rules, you should be able to, like an indoor range where you're at a bay or something, you should still be able to get away with presenting from SUL and, break one shot or something. And that shouldn't be too controversial. It shouldn't raise any red flags with the ROs or anything. So worth practicing. If nothing else, practice it with your at-home dry practice sessions, both bringing in and deploying from SUL. So that's your tip of the day. Until next time, be easy, y'all.